Guadalajara is alive with opportunity. The gig economy here is booming. But behind the rapid growth lies a serious challenge: access to financing. Many workers are stuck in a cycle of renting, unable to own the very vehicles they rely on to make a living. That's why we came here with Dylan Terrill, founder of Asaak, to see firsthand how microfinancing is transforming lives. Asaak isn't just giving out loans. They're building a pathway to ownership, financial independence, and a future beyond just getting by. This is the future of gig work. Let's get into it. With smartphones in nearly every pocket, the digital boom has made it easier than ever to start a business and connect with customers. And in Mexico, the gig economy is on fire. Rappi, Didi, and Uber have become an essential part of the workforce, helping over 500,000 people get jobs through digital platforms. And more than 41% of them earn above minimum wage. This expansion is a part of a broader trend in Latin America, where the gig economy is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 20% from 2024 to 2030, reaching 665 million by 2030. And with e-commerce and gig jobs exploding, even the Mexican government is stepping in with new laws to protect these workers. You know what? Entrepreneurs are eager to jump in, but there's one massive roadblock: financing.
Pues todo pasó después de que se acabó la pandemia. Yo trabajaba en el aeropuerto y a la vez estudiaba. Pero pues por cuestiones de salud me salí del aeropuerto y me llegó un mensaje, de hecho, que yo ya formaba parte de los conductores de Uber porque había hecho mi solicitud en pandemia. Pero sí le batallé para trabajar aquí. Porque como soy joven, la gente no confía. Porque te dicen, es que eres joven y te vas a emborrachar o vas a chocar, te vas a drogar, etc. Me negaron en demasiados lados. Y sí, me tardé como unos 5 meses más o menos en empezar a trabajar aquí, ¿no?
Starting a business is exciting. But the biggest struggle is really getting the money to actually do it. For many in developing regions, traditional banks don't lend easy, especially if you don't have good credit history or have credit history at all. So what do gig workers do? Well, they turn to loan sharks, payday loans, or lenders charging over 300% interest rates, which is insane. Without fair access to capital, how do you expect these entrepreneurs to grow and thrive? And this is where microfinancing steps in as a game changer. Started in Uganda, Asaak is a digital lending platform that's giving gig workers a lifeline by offering fair and accessible financing for motorcycles, vehicles, and even smartphones.
I will summarize Asaak. It's an enabler, right? It enables our customer, first of all, to have a secure tool, right, to generate income for them, for their families. It also enables them to move around, right? It's because it's also a mobility tool, right? They can use their car on a personal and business trips as well. So I would call it an enabler, right? So it allows them to do that, and also to at some point start generating. It's not equity, right? For example, at some point they will be able to buy the car. We have customers that have purchased a car, give it to their family, so his wife can move, right? and it's renting another one from us, right? So they are building equity at some other customers, for example, buy the car, use it themselves for some time, then they sell it, right? So they get a profit and rent another car from us, right? So it's a way to start generating equity that I think to what I was mentioning at the beginning, right? Businesses are I wouldn't say the only, but are the main drivers of economic, socially speaking, economic change in any place.
Unlike traditional banks that reject applicants or offer sky-high interest rates, Asaak uses data and AI to assess credit risk fairly, offering lower interest rates and better loan terms. I think what attracted us to each other was this idea of financial inclusion, taking what we were doing, but applying it to a market that was underserved, that just really needed access to capital and impact. And it was very clear that while we were doing some cool stuff at Lending Home, it just wasn't driving the needle of impact. So we thought, what if we took this model and brought it to a place that actually needs the credit? Kaivan had worked with a guy named Ed in Uganda, doing a project called Engineers Without Borders through Columbia University. So he had a good network there, and he thought, like, hey, what if we brought this to Uganda? Let's start it as a project and go from there, see what happens. So the thesis was, let's take credits, apply it to a market that really needs it, and drive impact. It was really meant to be just kind of like a hobby side project, and then it grew into a proper business with more and more demand. The mission is quite simple. Help gig workers own their own vehicles, build their credit, and achieve financial independence. Imagine you're a delivery driver. You need a motorcycle to earn money. Instead of waiting years for a traditional bank to approve you, or taking a predatory loan, Asaak helps you finance a bike or vehicle with fair terms. You own your vehicle while making a living.
Así es. Sí, esto fue bien chistoso porque originalmente hace 3 años él empezó a trabajar primero de Uber. Y él me dijo, mira mamá lo que estoy ganando. Y ahí vengo atrás de él, ¿no? Por cosas de la vida, yo doy con esta empresa y la verdad yo estaba contentísima, ¿eh? O sea, fue para mí algo padrísimo. Primeramente...
¿Cómo te enteraste de nosotros?
¿Cómo? Fue bien chistoso, porque al final del día yo me quedo sin trabajo porque ya trabajaba de Uber. Me quedo sin trabajo por otras razones, ¿no? Entonces, en esos 10 días que me quedé sin trabajo, estuve buscando y di con esta empresa. Y se me hizo fabuloso. ¿Por qué? Porque no tuve tanto, ¿cómo te lo explico? Yo estaba sorprendida porque fue muy fácil. Fue muy fácil el enganche y que me dicen que al final el contrato, el carro va a ser mío, lógico, pagando una diferencia. Entonces se me hizo padrísimo. ¿Por qué? Porque en ese momento de la vida yo no tenía para dar un enganche. Entonces te ponen todas estas facilidades y yo dije, y créeme que no me la creía, yo digo, ¿es en serio? Y entré a la empresa y me doy cuenta que sí era real todo, que sí, y luego que cuentan todavía me dijeron, ¿qué carro quieres? Todavía pude escoger qué vehículo quería. Yo dije, me voy por un carro del año. O sea, quiero algo que se quede conmigo. Lo agarro desde un principio. Entonces me quedé con el carro. Y la verdad, todo lo demás está muy bien. Contamos con un muy buen taller que nos da muy buen servicio. Si hay algún detalle, nos atienden muy bien por teléfono, por las oficinas. La verdad, yo no tengo ningún conflicto. Yo tengo como poco más de 2 años con la empresa. Entonces yo estaba muy bien. Y entonces a mí me estaba yendo bien y traía, pues, lógico, la finalidad de quedarme con mi vehículo. Y le dije a mi hijo, vente para acá. Y sí, mandamos el link y se tardaron un poquito, pero le dieron su carro. Y sí, estamos muy contentos, la verdad.
Now, this isn't just about loans. It's really about empowering people to run their own businesses without drowning in a ton of debt. And with Mexico's gig economy booming, platforms like Asaak are unlocking opportunities for thousands of new entrepreneurs.
O sea, todo esto me convenció. Desde hasta el auto en cierta fecha con tanto dinero es tuyo para ti. O sea, te dan el motivo o el incentivo de que trabajando bien el vehículo va a ser para ti. Y pues, o sea, son todas esas grandes ventajas que te dan aquí que me hizo venir. Además el hecho de que sí me aceptaron a pesar de que soy joven. Bueno, además por la experiencia que ya tengo, ¿verdad?
Let's sum it all up. 1, microfinancing is breaking down barriers for small business owners. 2, gig economy workers are finally getting the tools they need to succeed. And 3, fair access to credit equals more entrepreneurship, more financial independence, and ultimately a stronger economy. Got thoughts on the gig economy? Drop a comment below. And if you know someone looking for better financing options, share this episode. Let's keep the conversation going. As always, stay curious. Hi, my name is Jed, and me and my co-host Shikhar Bandari run a podcast called Things Have Changed Podcast. And we're on all your favorite platforms like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. This is new for us. We're trying out video. You may have heard my voice before. We've been running the podcast for about 4 years, but we've decided to take a turn. We've found a love for filmmaking and videography. So expect the next few months and really the next few years to be filled with new projects of Things Have Changed podcast hosts visiting the actual startups that we love. We're going to go through down the list of every startup that we've ever covered on Things Have Changed podcast and create new video content. If you love startups, if you love thinking about work of the future, and if you're just interested in tech, please subscribe, give us a like, and give us a chance. Hopefully this all goes well. See you on the next episode of Things Have Changed podcast. And again, always stay curious.